The Christmas tree lights reflected off my laptop screen as I reviewed the quarterly analytics. 12 million active users. Revenue up 43%. I should have been celebrating, but instead I was bracing myself for another family dinner where everyone pretended I didn't exist. Maya's on her computer again, my sister Rachel announced from the doorway. Can you believe it? Christmas Day and she's playing games. I didn't correct her. I'd been building mobile applications for 6 years, and my family still thought I spent my days playing Candy Crush in our parents' basement. Mom appeared behind Rachel. Honey, could you put that away? Rachel flew in from Boston with David and the kids. The least you could do is be present. I am present. I'm just finishing something for work. Work, Rachel scoffed, walking over in her designer heels. She worked as a marketing director at a pharmaceutical company and never let anyone forget it. Mom, she doesn't have work. She makes little phone apps that nobody uses. My apps have over 12 million active users. Sure they do. Rachel rolled her eyes. You're 31 years old. When are you going to get serious about your life? My phone buzzed. A message from my business manager. Apple wants to move the keynote announcement to January 5th. They're featuring us in the New Year launch event. Confirm. I typed back. Confirmed. See? This is what I'm talking about. Rachel gestured at my phone. She's literally texting during Christmas. Who are you even talking to? Your imaginary employees. I have 17 employees, Rachel. 17 people playing on computers doesn't count as employment. He turned to Mom. Has she contributed anything to dinner? I brought the wine, David made his stuffing. What did Maya do? I hadn't mentioned that I'd wired $5,000 to Mom's account last week to cover the entire dinner and the gifts under the tree. But I'd asked her not to tell anyone. Dad appeared from the kitchen. Maya, sweetheart, why don't you help your mother set the table? I closed my laptop and followed Mom into the kitchen, where Rachel's husband David was carving the turkey. He was a tax attorney and the only one who'd ever asked real questions about my business. I'd sworn him to secrecy after he'd seen my tax returns last year. How's the app business? He asked quietly. Good. Really good actually. David, can you help me with the kids? Rachel called. Maya's not going to be useful. I picked up the salad bowl and carried it to the dining room where my extended family had gathered. Uncle Tom and Aunt Linda, both retired teachers. My cousin Jessica. Rachel's kids with their tablets. Put those away, Rachel snapped at them. No screens at the table. Unlike your Aunt Maya, we have manners. Build up. We sat down to dinner and the interrogation began immediately. So Maya, Uncle Tom said, your mother tells me you're still doing the computer thing. How's that working out? It's working out well. We just hit some major milestones this quarter. Milestones, Rachel repeated mockingly. She means downloads. People downloading free apps. My apps aren't free. They're subscription-based productivity tools. Subscription-based. Rachel laughed. Who's going to pay for apps when there are thousands of free ones? 12 million people apparently. The table went quiet. Then Aunt Linda spoke up. That seems exaggerated, dear. It's not. That's our current active user base across 6 applications. But you work from home, Mom said gently. In the basement. How can you have 12 million users when you work alone? I don't work alone. I have a team of 17. Developers, designers, customer support, marketing. 17 people in the basement? Uncle Tom chuckled. Must be crowded. Rachel set down her fork. Okay, I've had enough of this fantasy. Maya, you're 31 living with Mom and Dad playing with apps, pretending you run some tech empire. When are you going to grow up? I don't live with Mom and Dad. I own a condo downtown. You rent, Mom corrected. I'd bought the 2-bedroom condo for $800,000 in cash 2 years ago. I own it, Mom. I just let you believe I was renting. Explaining what? Dad asked. That you spent money you don't have? Money she doesn't have, Rachel echoed. She's living in some delusional fantasy, buying condos she can't afford, probably drowning in debt. I'm not in debt. The company generated $47 million in revenue last year. My personal income was $19 million. The silence was absolute. Rachel's fork clattered against her plate. Then Rachel started laughing. 19 million. Oh my God, Maya. You actually believe this, don't you? I'm not lying. Nobody makes $19 million from phone apps, she said firmly. I have a master's degree in business. You're delusional. David cleared his throat uncomfortably. Rachel, maybe we should. Stay out of this, she snapped. My sister needs a reality check. He turned back to me. After dinner, you're going to sit down with David and me, and we're going to help you find a real job. Entry-level marketing or administrative work. I don't need connections. I have a career. You have a hobby that you've convinced yourself is a career. Mom patted my hand. Honey, Rachel's just trying to help. We're worried about you. You're getting older and you don't have anything to show for it. No husband, no children, no real career. My phone buzzed again. Another message from my business manager. Tech journalists are asking for comments on the Apple announcement. Should I send the standard response? I typed back. Tell them we'll have an official statement after the keynote. Rachel lunged across the table and grabbed my phone. Stop texting. You can't even focus on family because you're obsessed with your fake business. She looked at my screen reading the message. Her face went white. What is this? Says something about Apple. And a keynote announcement. And journalists. David reached for the phone. Rachel, give it back. But she held it away, scrolling through messages. These messages, they're talking about millions of dollars. Revenue reports. App Store features. Forbes interviews. She looked at me. What is this? My business manager. Now give me my phone. She dropped it onto the table. A new message appeared. Apple PR just confirmed. You're the opening feature of the January 5th keynote. Tim Cook is personally introducing your company. Everyone stared at the message. Tim Cook, Uncle Tom said slowly. As in, the CEO of Apple? Yes. Dad pulled out his phone, typing quickly. His eyes widened. There's an article here. From TechCrunch. Maya Thornton's Zenith app's suite hits 12 million users. That's you. Yes. He kept reading. It says your company is valued at $85 million. It says you turned down acquisition offers from Microsoft and Google. It says you're one of the 30 most influential people under 35 in tech. Revelation. Rachel grabbed his phone, reading frantically. This can't be real. David spoke quietly. It's not a prank, Rachel. I've seen her tax returns. She's been telling the truth. You knew. He spun on him. You knew and didn't tell me? She asked me to keep it confidential. As her attorney, I was obligated. Her attorney? Mom whispered. I handle her business tax filings. Have for 3 years. Rachel was scrolling through articles, her face getting redder. Bloomberg. Forbes. What? You're in all of them. They're calling you a visionary. She looked up, tears in her eyes. Why didn't you tell us? I tried. Multiple times. You never listened. We would have listened if you'd told us the truth. I did tell you the truth. You called it fantasy. You said I was delusional. Jessica was Googling my name, her eyes widening. Aunt Linda looked like she might faint. Uncle Tom sat frozen. Mom stood abruptly, her chair scraping. I need some air. She walked to the kitchen and I heard the back door close. Dad followed her, leaving me alone with Rachel, David, and the others. 12 million users, Jessica said finally. Why did you let us think you were struggling? I didn't let you think anything. I told you the truth. You chose not to believe it. Because you work in a basement. Rachel's voice cracked. You wear sweatpants all day. I work remotely because that's how modern tech companies operate. And I don't talk about my work with you because every time I try, you dismiss it. I dismissed it because I thought you were wasting your life. I thought I was helping you. You weren't pushing me to do better. You were pushing me to do what you think is valuable. There's a difference. David put his hand on Rachel's shoulder. We should probably go. Process what? Rachel demanded. That my little sister is a multimillionaire tech genius and I've been treating her like a failure for 6 years? Rachel. You must have loved this. Watching us think you were a loser while you were secretly successful. It wasn't fun. It was lonely. That stopped her. What? It was lonely, Rachel. You're my sister. You're supposed to believe in me. Instead, you spent years mocking everything I built. She opened her mouth, then closed it. Mom and Dad came back, both looking shell-shocked. Mom's eyes were red. Maya, Dad said carefully, We owe you an apology. Can you forgive us? Mom asked. Can we start over? Resolution. I looked around the table at my family. Rachel crying. David uncomfortable. Jessica and my aunt and uncle looking at me like I was a stranger. My parents, guilt written across their faces. I don't know, I said honestly. You spent 6 years making me feel worthless. You can't erase that with an apology. How do we fix this? Dad asked. You can't fix it. Not right away. Maybe eventually, but that's going to take time. But we're family, Mom said desperately. We are. And family should be the first people who believe in you, not the last. I stood and gathered my things. My laptop, my phone, my dignity. Where are you going? Rachel asked, her voice small. Home. To my condo that I own. To my company that's about to be featured by Apple. Leah, please, Mom said. It's Christmas. You made me feel like I didn't belong here. So I'm leaving. At the door I turned back. I never wanted to prove you wrong. I just wanted you to believe me when I told you the truth. I walked out into the cold December night and drove back to the city. My phone buzzed with notifications. Messages from my team. Interview requests. Congratulations from colleagues. But no messages from my family. That would come later. The apology texts, the awkward calls, the requests to help Rachel's kids get internships, suggestions that I invest in Dad's friend's startup. They would want back in now that they knew I was successful. But I'd spent 6 years building something extraordinary while they told me I was wasting my time. I'd become exactly who I wanted to be despite their constant doubt. And I'd done it without their belief, support, or respect. I didn't need it now. The city lights stretched out as I drove home. My phone lit up with one more notification. Apple PR confirming the keynote details. January 5th, 10 a.m. Pacific. Mom would probably watch it. They all would now. But I wouldn't be watching it for them. I'd be watching it for the version of me who sat in that basement 6 years ago, typing code while they laughed upstairs. The version who kept building when everyone said to quit. The version who believed in herself when nobody else would. She deserved this moment. And she'd earned it entirely on her own.